Good afternoon, period two, or good morning, shall I say. Welcome back from spring break. So today we're going to try something a little different. Uh, you see here on this screencast, we're going to take notes via a video lecture, and our topic for today is independence in India. Excuse me, Delmas, Jaden, Caleb, Breon, would you stop talking while I'm talking? Extra laps in practice today. Just joking. Just trying to give you the regular feel of the real classroom because I know you miss being in the classroom. So anyway, what we're doing today is you see on the screencast, you see topics. Today's topic is independence in India. And so if you go to your Cornell notes, on the left side of your paper, these would be your topics. And then on the right side of your paper, you'll type in your bullet points. You should have two, maybe three bullet points for each topic as I deliver this lecture. Put all electronic devices away. Put your phones away. Okay, focus. Teeny boppers. Let's focus in here. All right. I know we've had a long spring break, but the learning is back in session. And so I hope you brought your butter. I will not be on a baguette. Not a piece of toast, but a roll, ladies and gentlemen. And so let's buckle up, and I'm going to tell you a story about independence in India. So our first topic, again, is independence in India. And after World War II ends in 1945, you can imagine the people of India are quite frustrated. Actually, so that would be the topic. India's frustration. Sorry, first time trying this. Bear with me. So India's frustration will be the first topic where you put your bullet points. So India is quite frustrated after World War II because they've been ruled by the British. Remember when we studied imperialism, the period that was known as the Raj. Britain had controlled India for about 90 years, and you remember Gandhi comes along, and you have the Salt March and the nonviolent peaceful protest. And India had fought for the crown in World War I and World War II, and still they are not independent. And so the frustration is they're just ready for the British to leave town, and let them have their independent country. So the next topic you see over there, it would be religious tension. So the challenge for India as they move into independence is there's a real religious split. India is split between Hindus and Muslims. There's two political parties: the Congress Party that would like to see India represented as a Hindu nation, and then you have the Muslim League. The Hindus make up the majority of the population in India, but there is a large minority of Muslims living in India, and they just want to make sure that Muslims have their rights as well. And so right after World War II, the British, they've ran out of money, they can't fund their empire, so they're knowing that they're going to give India its independence, but the challenge is this split between Hindus and Muslims, and they're afraid of violence, which leads us to the next topic: rioting in Calcutta, August of 1946. So Calcutta is a large city in India, and in 1946, as India is moving towards independence, there's this large riot that breaks out all over India. It lasts for 4 days, and the Hindus are attacking the Muslims are attacking the Hindus, and 5,000 people die and 15,000 are wounded. And Gandhi, this is not his vision for India. He wants a nonviolent movement. He's all about peace. So Gandhi comes to Calcutta, walks through, tries to reduce the violence, and people are just worried how India is going to be able to survive as an independent nation with all this religious tension between the Hindus and the Muslims. So the British have a decision to make. So the next topic you see is the British partition of India. This is July 16th, 1947. By the way, if you think I'm going too fast, because again, remember you need 2 or 3 bullet points for each topic. If you think I'm going too fast, if you're like Mr. Roper, slow your roll, just hit the pause button, rewind, and hear the goodies again as we spread the butter on the roll. Okay, so moving on from that, again, Delmas, Jaden, Breon, Caleb, there's no talking while I'm talking. We'll have to address this at practice later on. Um, Again, this is just a joke, just giving you the feel of being live in Mr. Roper's classroom, period 2. Notes on a Tuesday, learning about India on a Tuesday. Okay, back to the topic of the British partition of India. So it's July 16th, 1947, and what Britain decides to do is they split India in half. And so there's going to be 2 countries. There's going to be India and Pakistan. And what you want to type down is India will be a Hindu nation, and Pakistan will be a Muslim nation. So let me go over that again. They've split it up into 2 nations. India will be a Hindu nation, and Pakistan will be a Muslim nation. So our next topic is the split of Pakistan and India. So now we have 2 countries, okay? And this is quite difficult because you have, 500 native princes that have to decide whether they have to join Pakistan, join India. You have to figure out the court systems, the military, the railroads. Again, you don't have to type all of this down, just a couple things, just to let Mr. Roper know that you tuned in, you're paying attention, you're locked in. So back to the topic, teeny boppers. The thing about the split of Pakistan and India is you got to have a military, railway, police, civil service. All of this has to be divided in 2 countries. And then if you think about this, you have millions of people that now feel like they're a minority. If you're a Hindu living in Pakistan, you are now a minority in a Muslim nation. And if you are a Muslim living in India, you are now a Muslim in a Hindu nation, and you're a minority. So again, let me go over this again. If you're a Hindu that happens to live in Pakistan, you might feel kind of uncomfortable because Pakistan is a Muslim nation. And if you're a Muslim that lives in India, you might feel quite uncomfortable because you're a Muslim that lives in a Hindu nation. Now you got a decision to make. You've lived in this is your hood. This is where you've lived. This is your neighborhood. This is where your people are. You've got a job. You got family. You got friends. So, think about what would be the dangers of leaving. What would be the dangers of staying. Just marinate on that for a second. In fact, maybe hit the pause button. Think about that. What would be the again the positives of staying, but then what might be the dangers of staying? What would be the dangers of leaving? Think about the tough decision that you've made. You've lived here your whole life, but you also feel very uncomfortable. You don't feel like it's safe. So that brings us to our next topic, the summer of 1947. You got 10 million people on the move. You got Muslims in India that are heading to Pakistan, and you have Hindus in Pakistan heading to India. So let me go over that one more time. Summer of 1947, you have Hindus in Pakistan who are heading to India, and you have Muslims in India heading to Pakistan. And a lot of these refugees are leaving by train. And just quite honestly, it just gets crazy. Muslims start attacking Hindus. Hindus start attacking Muslims, and in the summer of 1947, 1 million people are going to die. And what happens is the Muslims say that the Hindus started it, and the Hindus say that the Muslims started it. Nobody really knows, but the bottom line is 1 million people die in the summer of 1947, and it's just it's a catastrophe. Nobody steps in. The UN doesn't send over troops to help with the situation. You just have people dying. The British don't really get involved. It's just It's just chaos and violence. So, of course, Gandhi in 1948 goes to, so this would be our last topic. Gandhi dies. So, Gandhi in 1948, he goes to New Delhi to ask for the fair treatment of Muslim refugees. He's like, let's just stop this. Let's stop the killing. Let the Muslims go to Pakistan. Let the Hindus come to India. And a Hindu militant who thinks Gandhi is being too sympathetic assassinates Gandhi. So on January 30th, 1948, Gandhi dies, if you can believe that. The guy who led this whole independence movement, the Martin Luther King of India, the guy who inspired Martin Luther King, someone assassinates him. So that would be the last casualty of all of this violence. I would like to thank you for tuning in. That is today's lecture. If you see, there's also an assignment today. I've posted a worksheet on the line for you to see what happens in India and Pakistan right after all of this violence. Some of the leaders early on and the continued violence. In fact, it was interesting. India was in the middle of two territories that were Pakistan, and one of them is going to become the territory of Bangladesh. So again, thank you for tuning in. I hope you found today's lecture to be interesting. You can leave some comments about how you feel about this format. You want to make sure you do the worksheet, you do the assignment, and again, we're on this format of lessons Tuesday and Thursday. I hope everyone enjoyed their spring break. Miss everyone. Let's make sure we're being safe for social distancing. And check back Thursday on the line for your next lesson. Sorry, that wasn't very good. There we go. Have a great Tuesday, World History.